What is going on, everyone? Welcome live inside Little Brick Cafe inside the Deuce Vodka pregame show studio. It's Josh, this is Jay. I'm wearing my bucket hat. Jay's got his jersey on. We are changing everything up because we have got a game on our hands tonight. It's game 4, Jets versus Oilers, 7:45 puck drop out in Peg City. Of course, before we get to previewing tonight's game, we need to discuss what was an utter and historical collapse by the Edmonton Oilers last night, blowing a 4-1 lead with 9 minutes left to go in the third period, going to overtime, and then Nikolai Ehlers finishing off the evening with a beautiful goal. I should say that. It was a great shot by Nikolai Ehlers in overtime. He comes back, draws into the lineup for the first time in what was just over a month and a half, I believe. He was obviously injured. Back in the we're going to discuss last night because we have to. We got to talk about what went wrong. That's where we cover the Oilers.
You got to look right in the mirror. You got to stare it eye to eye.
Yep, and we gotta face the facts that the Oilers. Listen. I don't even want to say the Oilers were bad in the last 9 minutes, but there's things that went wrong, and a lot of people today, Jay, are pointing their finger at one pivotal moment in the game that kind of turned the tide for the Edmonton Oilers in favor of the Winnipeg Jets. And that was Josh Archibald's clipping penalty on Logan Stanley. Obviously, they had a little feud going throughout the evening, and now we've learned today after the Oilers win tonight. Jay, I'll let you say your opinion first on how important that Josh Archibald play was and how much you think it factored.
Well, this on the podcast. We just did real-life podcast before all this. And you can't hang the outcome of the game on Josh Archibald. You can't. Now, many dominoes had to fall for the Oilers to give up the lead like they did.
Yeah.
And the Josh Archibald penalty was one of those dominoes. In Logan Stanley, gets low, clips the guy. I don't argue that, but, you know, he wanted to hit a guy who was a target for the Oilers, right?
Yep.
So he goes and does that. Turns out being a penalty. Hopefully the team would step up and kill that off. They don't. 4-2. Okay. We still have a 2-goal lead with 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
And I think it's about not letting that take the wind out of your sails. Like, we were still in full control, but we just kept making more mistakes and then just let momentum just completely shift and point. And yeah, soul crushing. Like, we're up 4-1.
I agree with you, Jay. We're getting some mixed responses in the Facebook comments right now. I'd say it's pretty much 50-50 on who believes it was a lot playing into that Archibald play and who wasn't. The way that I look at it is this. I said it on State of the Nation this morning. It was an emotional moment for Josh Archibald. Him and Logan Stanley had been going at it throughout the game.
He went to go hit him.
It's 4-1 with 9 minutes to go. Do you ever think for a second that in Josh Archibald's head, he thought, you know what, I'm going to take a stupid penalty here, and then the Jets are going to come back and tie the game, and we're going to go to overtime?
He saw a chance to hit a guy, and he ducked low, and him ducking low because he's a smaller guy and Logan Stanley's a tree, like, it resulted in clipping. Like, if that was Nikolai Ehlers on the blue line and Josh Archibald went to hit him, it's not clipping.
Yeah. So I look at it as this. Josh Archibald plays a physical game. He's a physical player. He's an emotional player. And that's how he played throughout the entire game. Do I think that going into that, was he 100%, naive to the fact that he could get a penalty? Sure. I think his thought process is this. It's 4-1. I'm a small guy on this team. These guys have run our ship for 2 games, and now it's our opportunity to turn the tide of this series. I'm going to take a run at one of their big guys. I have no problem with it. Is it a penalty? Yes. Did he go low at his knees? Yes. Is Logan Stanley a 1.5 feet taller than Josh Archibald? Yes. All results of the outcome of what happened, but it doesn't matter. Good teams don't blow 3-goal leads in the third period.
They kill that penalty.
You kill that penalty.
They kill that penalty.
And then you also don't give up 2 subsequent goals after that.
Let's remember what we did. Like, that's, like, I'll play into the theory that is one of the dominoes to fall, but you can't not hang. Yeah. You can't hang the...
happened. The Oilers blew a 3-goal lead with 9 minutes left and then lost it in overtime. That's all it is. But that's okay because they're going to have an opportunity tonight. Yeah. He played 3 more 5-on-5 minutes than Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Was Nuge effective? I don't know. Was that second line okay? Yes.
Was that game-winning goal? Was that off an icing and that why Jujar was taking the draw?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so that was just... Okay, I was just kind of... I've had so many thoughts go through my head.
Dave Tippett... He looked like he developed a game plan halfway through that game. It almost, and I saw a lot of people have the same opinion. I can't even take this as my own. Dave Tippett almost fell into a rhythm of rolling 4 lines, and then that's what came to bite the Oilers. lines 1 through 4. I liked the lines, and we need to talk about the fourth line. Ennis, Ennis, Haas, and Yamamoto.
Buzzing.
That was the best game we've seen out of Yamamoto in some time.
Still snake bitten.
Still snake bitten.
Poor guy.
But
That's once again, that's a domino. He scores. It's over.
yeah. But yeah, what do you think of that fourth line? Were you satisfied? Did you think, because yesterday when we were classifying lines, we said fourth line is our interested.
Yeah,
so what'd you think?
they brought speed. They were buzzing. Like it was one of the positive stories of the game was that fourth line. Like they clearly Tippett wanted to bring some speed. That fourth line was a bunch of speedster, young or not necessarily all young because of Ennis and whatnot, but just smaller, fast guys.
Yeah.
And they were effective. That was one of the positive lights of yesterday.
Yep.
And double down and roll in tonight, and hopefully they can get one for us because we need some depth.
Yep.
We need some depth scoring.
Big goal from Jujhar Khaira last night.
Huge.
Speaking of depth scoring.
Huge goal.
And you could see the emotion that was almost a relief to see some bottom six guys chip in on the score sheet. Not James Lee. Paul Nolan just came up with a little bit of a point here in the Facebook chat, and then I want to talk about the defensive pairings, Jay. Do you think that Dave Tippett should have taken a timeout after the third goal? Because listen, Dave Tippett's a good coach, but there's a lot of people that are like this is another example.
Yeah.
Of keeping the old
the
Tom
answer,
McClellan keeping the
like hindsight's powerful, but I would say yes.
Yeah.
Like I understand his rationale, but I think just I don't. Obviously, we couldn't afford to wait any longer. I think it needed to happen.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you.
Who knows if it would have done anything, but
yeah. Should Dave Tippett have taken a timeout there?
It was a shot he had in the bag, didn't get used, so it's easy to look back and be like, oh well, he should have used it. Like he should have used it, and if it backfired, it backfired.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk defensive pairings, Jay, and let's start on a positive note. Kukuk Barry, 4K and Barry, that was the best defensive pairing for either team on the ice last night. I thought they had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sheltered minutes in a role for Tyson Barrie, sure, but I thought Barrie showed a part of his game that we haven't necessarily seen on him. And listen, this isn't just me being a Tyson Barrie fanboy. I thought that Barrie and Kukuk had a great game.
Yep.
And then looking at the other pairings, Ethan Bear struggled.
Ethan Bear struggled. He did.
Ethan Bear struggled big time. I don't want to dump it on him too much, but that was the worst game we've seen out of Ethan Bear since the beginning of the season. Was that due to the fact that he went from playing in the third pairing sheltered minutes up to the first pairing with Nurse, and you're getting like high class elite minutes against the best competition? Sure, but the puck was a grenade on a stick all night long. And I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have came out of the lineup today. I seriously thought they might put Bouchard in for him. Dave Tippett said in his press conference post-game that he liked Ethan Bear's game. So obviously Dave Tippett's a better judgment of hockey than I am.
And maybe just saying that to protect the player, right?
Yeah.
Like Ethan Bear might not be in a position where you can call him out in the media right now.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, yeah, so exactly. Obviously, Dave Tippett's not going to call out Ethan Bear, especially in this situation.
But some coaches will sometimes. Like he'll call, like if Koskinen lets a bad goal in, like
he has no problem saying that.
Right? So like he obviously didn't just said the positive thing to protect his player.
Yeah. People in the Facebook comments agreeing it was a tough game for Ethan Bear. Paul Nolan says, how about dropping Bear for Bouchard? Listen, do they swap Barrie and Bear? I don't think they will. I think they'll keep Bear on the top pairing and allow him the opportunity to redeem himself for that performance last night.
Yeah.
Because if you bring Evan Bouchard in for Ethan Bear, you're probably going to play Bouchard with Slater Kukuk on the back end, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just feel like if you do keep Ethan Bear in at that point.
Yeah.
So I wondered this, what the prospect would be potentially, and Sean brings up a good point here. Would they? I don't think they would, and I wouldn't want them to. But what about playing 7D? Do you think in the playoff game 7D probably not the way to go? Hey, just because I know a lot of defensemen don't like that because it just gets you out of rhythm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that also gives you a chance to
double
play
shift McDavid.
Or Nuge or Draisaitl.
Let's a group. We do have to believe. I know at it for an hour and a half to kind of come down from all this because it weighs on us. We care so much. And to see something like that last night happen, it just eats us inside. And that's very difficult. But this is still a team that can pull it off. They showed those first 2 periods, those first 50 minutes were unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's our Oilers right there.
That's the positive that you can take out of last night's game is that, the first 51 minutes of it were excellent, and that's all you can ask for out of this team.
Yep.
Before we get to our Deuce Vodka player modes, Jay, and before we discuss tonight's game, I have one other point that I want to make. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to walk this line very carefully.
You have to be very careful.
I
have no idea what he's about to say, but you got to be very careful.
I've been pretty good so far.
You've been very good so far.
Thank you, sir. Connor McDavid is the best player in the world, undisputed. He by no means am I saying he's had a bad game so far. He hasn't had a bad game. If he's playing in the game, whether it's on one foot or with one arm, he's still going to have a good game, respectively compared to the other players. He hasn't had a bad game. He had 3 assists last night. The only knack that I have with Connor McDavid is you're the best player in the world. You're the best player on the ice at any time. I am thirsting and yearning for Connor McDavid to just take over a game because we haven't seen that from him yet. He has that ability. He throttled the Winnipeg Jets all season long, Jay. But do you agree that McDavid is yet to take over a game, and that's what we need him to do?
Well, he was get 3 points in a game. That's mildly taking it over.
It's good, but
it's not end-to-end rushes.
Hey, if we want to take the Tyson Barrie train on this, I'm pretty sure 2 of those were secondary assists that didn't really have any output on the goal. You know what I mean? So, I just want him to take over the game, overtime. Just take it over. You're the best player in the world. Make it happen yourself. I know we can look at this and say, oh, it's not McDavid's fault. It's the secondary scoring. It's the defenseman. It's Mike Smith. If you're Connor McDavid, don't even allow it to get to that point. Don't give them a chance to pin it on other people. Just take over the game yourself and do it yourself. You're the best player in the world. Okay? That's all I have to say. I'm just waiting for it, and when it happens, I'm going to be so happy.
It's happening tonight. Why? Because it doesn't have a choice. It has to happen tonight.
Yeah. And listen, people are saying in the comments, you have to give him some space here, and you got to give him a break. He's getting hacked. He's getting held.
Oh yeah,
hauled down.
Well, they're targeting him. It's very obvious. So his ice is getting taken away from him. So we're not seeing the opportunities like we would in the regular season. Winnipeg's got a game plan to try to silence McDavid.
Yeah.
And that's on Connor to fix and persevere through, but it's not going to be easy. So that's what's allowing Winnipeg to kind of stay in this. But still, Connor got 3 points despite their best efforts last night. So
Colorado just finished playing St. Louis. Colorado swept St. Louis 4-0. Nathan MacKinnon had 6 goals and 3 assists in that series.
Where are you going with this?
I promise you that Connor McDavid knows, and I promise you he's going to bounce back.
Oh, he knows.
He knows.
Here's the thing.
And listen, I'm not comparing Nathan MacKinnon and Connor McDavid at all.
But if the Oilers can pull this off, this is all time. This now how does Connor McDavid look?
Oh, he's a king. Well, he already is a king. But
that's the thing. So that's the exciting thing about all this. If we come back and pull this off, think about how the hockey world is shitting on us right now. Just think about what they have to say about us then.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice.
Let's win one game.
Legendary. One game at a time.
Let's win one game.
One game at a time. I'm already starting to feel my energy pick up.
Yeah.
I was sitting in this chair. I was very somber. It's very
You've seen this guy walk in.
Sad.
It's just a little sad boy hour.
It's very sad. It's very sad. But now that we're getting closer to puck drop, I'm now talking it through. I'm now remembering that Connor McDavid is our captain. We've got the pieces to do it. How good would this be? Let's just win tonight.
Good vibes. I like it.
I don't want to stop doing pregame shows.
Yeah, man.
Having too much fun.
We're having too much fun. We could maybe have Chalmers back next
week. Cowboy Chalmers is back on Wednesday.
Yes. So that should be enough motivation alone for the Oilers to make it happen because we want Cowboy Chris back
Cowboy
in the
Chris
saddle.
is back.
Back in the saddle. Let's do our Deuce Vodka player mode. We'll bring down the Deuce Vodka. If you were taking part in the Neon Nation Bombs last night, you would have had a good evening. 2 goals for Leon Draisaitl. Jay, would you like to begin with your Deuce Vodka player mode?
I'll let you go. I think because it'll dovetail, I'm assuming, off of what you just said. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'll say mine.
I don't even know if there's a word for the mode, but I just need Connor McDavid to enter. Just take over the game mode. Yeah. Just make it yourself. Do not let there be any other options than just taking over the game yourself. Yeah. And don't leave it in other people's hands. I'm not saying that's what McDavid's doing. Yes, it's a team sport, but just McDavid, just take it over yourself mode. Just make it happen.
That's a good one.
Yep.
So for my Deuce Vodka player mode, hey, it's sometimes we like to try to make these funny and have fun with them.
Yeah.
But I think being down 3-0, we have to make it about business.
Business.
It's put our suit on. It's business time. And I just want the whole roster of the Edmonton Oilers to put their suits on and just play in must-win mode.
Yeah. Do or die.
Do or die. Like, I want to see Dylan DeMello, like, reaching for the skies to hopefully block a shot and block it mode. Every player doing all the little things it takes to win this game.
Yep.
Because it's a must-win. It's must-win for the next week.
It's must-win.
So bring your briefcases, put your nice suits on. Let's get to work. It's business time. Must-win mode. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Jay. That was really good. Like, there's literally no.
It's not even a cliche.
It's not
It's
even.
just like you must win.
You're not even being. That's the word for it. You're not even. It's not even a hyperbole. It's literally a must win.
Yeah. By definition, it's a must win. Like, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if the Oilers win tonight, then we're officially back in business. I feel like we should wear suits next pregame show, just to make it official.
Yeah, we're in business.
We're in business. If we win tonight and we're back in business, I'll do the next pregame show suited up.
I'll wear a suit. I've worn a suit in a while.
Okay, neither have I.
I'll be surprised if I can fit in it.
Yeah, same. I don't know if I'll be able to fit in my suit. It's been a while. Okay, Oilers down 0-3 to the Winnipeg Jets. Tonight, 7:45 puck drop, Oilers versus Jets. Before we wrap up, shoot a few more questions our way, and we will get to them. And while you're sending in your questions, let's talk a little bit of betting. I have decided to pass away when it comes to placing wagers on hockey games. A couple group chats last night for me were firing away on how we may never financially recover from this 3-game set. I know I said that I was going to double down until the Oilers won. I still might. I haven't decided yet, because that's a business decision tonight if I'm going to keep doing that.
Business mode.
Because that's hefty for me. So haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I know the Oilers are still favorites on the money line. It's like minus 128 or something absurd. Yeah. If they were plus money, I'd be all over it. But money line, I'm still skeptical. Jay?
So this is where I'm at. Like, yeah, same thing. It's like I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. But also, like, in the name of switching things up to try and get a W, I've bet on the Oilers every game.
Yeah.
Maybe I just shouldn't bet on this game at all.
Yeah.
Because I want them to win that bad. I should abstain, even though I could get the joys of winning money from them winning. So I'm in a dilemma.
I know.
I'm in a dilemma. What should I do?
Oh,
yeah.
We should get him a little nation patch, and he can maybe stitch it onto his denim jacket.
I think Chalmers has what it takes. So I can't wait for denim cowboy Chris.
Yeah. This is like, people, this should be enough motivation for you to have the good vibes flowing tonight, because Wednesday's pregame show will be lit.
We'll be buzzing. We'll have the energy of coming off of a victory.
Yes, exactly.
Which will be nice. We haven't had that yet. We should have had it a couple times.
Let's see here. Dave says, I wonder why Jones is out after being a huge part of the success down the stretch. I don't know if Jones was a huge part of the success down the stretch. Could he be a different look on the left side? Sure. The only guy that would come out would be Kulikov, I think. I don't think they'd take Kukuk out. But I think they're hoping that Kulikov can turn it around. Because if you're going to be an effective team in the playoffs and you're going to be a team that makes a deep run, Kulikov has to be buzzing. He has to be firing. He's a shutdown defenseman, big body on the back end. I think Dave Tippett wants him to just get it figured out. Is that easier said than done because you're down 3-0 and you could lose and be out of the playoffs tonight? Then why are you going to hope that he somehow gets it going? Sure, but I don't know. I don't think Jones belongs in this lineup right now. What do you think?
We need Chris Russell. Is what we really need for the playoffs.
That's what someone just said too. Yeah,
Like we
Chris
need
Russell.
someone who can hit, who will block a puck with every ounce of his body.
That's what Kyler said. How much do you think Chris Russell would help this team if he was healthy?
Yeah, he's great in the playoffs. So whatever. We just need to get the puck out of our own zone. That's what's been letting us down, and just allowing the Jets to build some momentum on some of those kind of sustained pressure plays where there's just some bad decisions on our part to allow the play to stay alive. So that's what we got to do. So the defensive group that wants to do that, I am cheering for.
I got the bet. I think I got the bet. I'm gonna look at. I don't know what the odds are, but I'm gonna look at it. You know where I'm going with this, Jay?
Tyson Barrie goal?
No, why won't it load? Come on. It's gonna load because Sean just asked about it in the comments. I want to see what it is. What are the current odds, if a book will offer it, for the Edmonton Oilers to come back and win this
Oh,
series?
I bet you it's plus 600.
I think that might be what I do. I'm not going to bet on any more games. I'm strictly going to place one wager.
Yeah, I bet on them to win the series after they lost game 1.
Okay, let's see series odds.
Whoops.
The Oilers
Should've
to
waited for
come
more
back
Z's.
and win this series is plus 900.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the bet, because then I don't have to wager as much.
So if I was
So you put $20 and win 200.
900, you put 1,000 on it,
Oh yeah.
you win 10 grand. 9 grand. You win 10 grand. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. But you put $10 on it, you win $90. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I might do that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Okay,
Win the game. We thought about this episode being just 15 seconds and just going live and saying, just win the game and turning it off.
Yep.
But we wanted to provide some context, help build some energy,
Yep.
put a smile on our faces, allow myself to talk through and get out of this mental hole I was in. Feeling better. Got a delicious little brick coffee here.
Yep. I had a pulled pork sandwich before we started. It was really good.
Good, man. Yeah, I'm loading up, planning for a special dinner. It's hockey in May. Long weekend, playoff hockey.
Yep. Jay, your key to a victory tonight, and then we'll wrap up
Oh, there's so many.
today's show. One thing that needs to happen for the Oilers to come back and win. One game at a time. What do they do tonight?
Let's just play better in our own zone. Let's just play better in our own zone. We're now creating. We put up 4 last night. Mission accomplished. If we're putting up 4 against the Jets, we should win 100 times out of 100. So breaking down and making mistakes in our zone or doing things to allow their O-zone possession time to prolong, that needs to stop. Because we did it, and then we did it at a really bad time during the game, and they put up 3 against us.
Bassam just said before they win the series, they need to win a game.
Yep.
And I think that's the key to victory tonight.
One
It's
game at a time.
Just freaking win a game. Just one game. Just think about it like this. If you win one game, you get to play another. That's all it is.
Well, that's really what it is.
That's literally what it is. Actually, we should talk about this quickly before we wrap up. Second half of a back-to-back. Mike Smith's going to go again
Yeah,
tonight.
of course.
How much of an element or how much as a factor does that play in?
What's Winnipeg doing?
I haven't seen yet. Do you want me to look right now?
I wonder if Brissot. No, I think it's Mike Smith.
I wonder if they'll play Brissot.
Mike Smith has been battling so hard for us, so he deserves to be in the net. And this is a must-win game. You got to give it to the guy who's competing his ass off.
Yeah.
I bet you they'll go Hellebuck because their mentality is
They'll go Hellebuck,
we
I
want
bet.
to close him out and then he'll get his rest.
It's not loading.
That'll be a mistake.
It's not loading for me.
It's all good.
I imagine. I'm trying to look at Twitter. It's like 99% sure it's going to be Hellebuck. Let us know in the comments on Facebook right now. If you
I
know.
might have it open on my phone.
I think it's Hellebuck. All right. Well, enjoy the game tonight, everyone. Don't look at it from a sense that it could be the last Edmonton Oilers game of the season, because that's not going to be the situation. The Oilers are going to play again Wednesday. They're going to defeat the Winnipeg Jets tonight by a score of 3-1. It's going to be a beautiful game by Connor McDavid. He's going to have 2 goals, and the third goal will come from drawing into the lineup Alex Jason. So, what do you think? 3-1, 2 from McDavid, 1 from Jason.
I think.
Actually, Nurse, take away Jason.
You know what? I think if we're going to break the hex of us losing, there's another player that needs to break a hex. Yamo goal, Oilers win.
Score?
Oh, man. 6-1.
6-1.
Yeah, I just think it's frustration coming out. It's like exact. I think tonight's a beatdown.
So they're playing guilty tonight.
No, they're. I don't even know if guilty is like. Sure, there's some.
There's some guilt.
There's some
There's
guilt.
a little guilt in there.
But there's some rage. There's some rage.
Which team is playing with house money? The Oilers or the Jets?
The Jets are playing with house money.
I know.
They've won. Like I said, they're up 3-0 when it's. Like, it's easy for me to say it should be this, but like literally it should be probably 2-1 Oilers.
I think the Jets are playing with house money. I think the Oilers are also playing with house money a little bit as well, because I think the Jets know if the Oilers win tonight, that's an issue. Although it's still only 3-1, if the Oilers win tonight, look out. I think the Jets know that, because that's where the momentum starts rolling, because they just need one. You know, that's how it works with the Oilers. They get streaky. They'll win one, and then they'll get going.
Yep.
So enjoy the game tonight. Pick up some Deuce Vodka. Grab some from your local liquor store if you haven't yet. Grab some Nation beer as well. And enjoy the game tonight. 7:45 puck drop. They're playing out in Winnipeg. Second half of a back-to-back. An opportunity for the Oilers to rewrite Series 1 of the playoffs to do or die. So let's go Oilers. Let's go Oilers fans. Let's keep the positivity rolling. And see you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.